Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks! What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. This should be pretty exciting because this came from a content creator that you should all be familiar with, and if you're not, do yourself a favor and subscribe to Tristate EDC. I believe what's in this box is his design, so it should be pretty exciting. I will link wherever you are able to get this or eventually get it in the description. So go down there and check it out. I'm not sure exactly where to link it at the exact moment, but I'm sure that there will be a link down there. Thank you so much to Tristate for sending it in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. Okay, let's find out what we've got in this package. Very exciting. It's always fun to check out designs that are, created by people that I know or have actually communicated with. Tristate's channel is probably one of my favorites to watch in terms of like other content creators in the knife community. If you've never watched his content, very recommendable channel if you have a sense of humor. Okay, there's a note. I'm going to read it real quick. Of course, let's look at that beautiful mustache. Okay, so here we've got a note. MC, this is my first knife, the Tristache, and he made sure that I pronounced it correctly. Tristache. Thank you, because I would have said Tristache, like clearly would have said it wrong without the pronunciation there. OEM is Bestech. Oh, the blade steel's S90V. Very good. Okay. The pre-order is July 28th at 12 p.m. EST on bladebingeshop.com, which, you know what, I'm just going to show it written right there. It saves me editing time. So that's what will be linked down in the description if you just want to click on it. Or you can type this one letter at a time into your browser. Let's go ahead and open this up. The Tristate pinch grip all day. There's a lot of fun stuff that we have that's specific to his channel. Wonderful. Oh, now, I do like texturing. Tristate, it is thicker than I would have expected. I meant that sincerely, relating to the knife, but it came out of my mouth too fast. Terrible. Should I edit this? Nope, it's all staying in. That's just real nice, man. That texturing is real beautiful. Symmetrical diamond pattern. Really cool, like a bunch of pyramids. I love it. T8 hardware. We got a long backspace. So I actually have come to prefer this aesthetically. I know that I've just, like, so many backspacers are right here and they're just flush and that's it. And that's fine. But for some reason, I like seeing the whole backspacer. And when you do that, while sometimes it does throw the balance of the knife off, there is no way to touch the blade. There's no way to touch the blade. So that's cool. We have a milled clip. Got a little bit of a little bald spot right there. Very cool. No spot to mount it on the other side, but since this is pre-production, it's a possibility that he has left the options there. We have the Tristate pivot with the mustache, which is really cool. Looks like T8 for the pivot, and then we have the blade here. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Holy moly. Boy, that's really, sorry. That's really, this is a plunge lock, right? That feels really good. What did you do? What did they do to make this feel so crispy? So, oh wait, it's a freaking button-operated frame lock. No wonder it feels so crispy. I was like, what's locking this? I kept looking at this. I was like, no, it's clearly a plunge lock. It's not. It's a button-operated frame lock. Wonderful. That's why it feels so good. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Perfect. So to make this work, it not only has to be up high enough, but it also has to be over enough so that when you break the detent, which is tuned exactly right, considering the two means of deployment are opening hole or unicorn horn, which those are the scientific ways to describe that stuff. So, but you have to get that right. And then you also have to add jimping that actually allows your finger to grip. Something that's very confusing to me are companies releasing stuff like this, and the horn, the front flipper, is jimped essentially like wet. It's just like lubed potatoes all together. That's a slippery surface as far as I'm concerned, and so it doesn't work very well. This works really well. That's perfect. And if you want to ignore that, you can. You can simply use the oval, which works just fine, and there's plenty of access here. Even with no scalloping, there's still plenty of room, no digging required. And then we have a wonderful choke-up spot right here. Huge fan of open ergos. Also a huge fan of the jimping, which is not specifically to grab your finger on deployment. It's also jimping, which can be used in the open position, which is nice. So I appreciate that this is extended. Very cool. I also like the blade shape. Me personally, it's like I always say, blade shape like this, where the nose is down. We want to call this Warncliffe. I'm going to simplify it and call it that. You can call it whatever you want. The reason this is nice is because this comes to a tip, so you're not losing out on a tip, right? A lot of times you know, sheep's foot blade or something that's real, build over, you lose the tip because it kind of comes down to almost like a 90-degree angle. This still very much has a tip, but instead of the tip being up here, it's down here. This allows you to get your finger up here, and stuff that I do a lot during the day is draw or shaping cuts, which is nice. And then you have a straight edge, which will work just fine in this case for slicing, given that it is aggressively hollow ground, which does not surprise me. Oh, holy moly. That is really nice. And then let's do a little meaningless paper cut test. It's not meaningless, but it doesn't give you a lot of information except how easy it slices. But the answer is very easy. Real nice. Yeah, this is great. I love the button operated. You see how that works in there? Right, so we have, there's a tab, and that button is pushing on the tab. Probably can see it. You can't actually see it. It's actually easier to see it from this side. So the button pushes on the tab, which is connected to the frame lock, and might be separate from, it's separate from the steel lock bar insert, which is also the over travel. You can feel it right there. So that moves the frame lock over. Very nice. Totally different than a standard button lock, which is dependent on the geometry of the cylinder. It's a plunge lock, right? Those often don't feel nearly as crisp on deployment because the plunge lock is also the detent. This has a ceramic detent. Well, I assume is a ceramic detent ball. A detent ball, though, in any case. And that's what gives it this. That's what we want. That's why it feels real good like this and real good like this. Very, very nice. The Tristache. Okay, I do like it. The S90V and titanium combination is wonderful. S90V with a super thin geometry in this blade shape, I think people will also very much love. Boy, you actually got that figured out just right. The location of this button, it's always a concern for me if we're going to do a button-operated anything, is it's on the handle face. So when you're gripping it, is there an opportunity to accidentally or unintentionally disengage the knife? And no, in this case, you will know, like you have to go out of your way to get your fingers on that button. I have to move up. My natural position is right here, so the button choked up is in between my index finger and middle finger. But you're going to know it's there in the locked out position because the button sticks up enough that you're going to be aware of it. If it were perfectly flush, which normally I like, but if it were perfectly flush, it would be much harder to tell if you were on it. Yeah, no, I think that's pretty easy to keep your fingers off of it. If you are left-handed, however, there probably needs to be a completely left-handed version of this. So this is probably a good idea to not have, to do it, if he's going to do it, a totally different knife for lefties. Because if you flip the pocket clip over for a left-handed position, then carried it like a left-handed person and used it like a left-handed person, choked up, pad of your finger is going to be on that button. So this is 100% meant as a right-handed knife, and if it's used that way, no accidental disengagement. Really cool, though. I do like this a lot. Very cool. Okay, I'm going to carry this I'm assuming he sent it to me so that I, could carry and use it, which I will. But I'm going to carry it, and I will give my thoughts on this guy, assuming nothing's going to change, and I'll talk to Tristate about that. There are 3 different versions. Black on black PVD, stonewash and satin, and reverse tuck. So those are the 3 different versions he's doing. So check out the website linked in the description. I will do a full review on this knife, assuming that absolutely nothing is going to change between this and the final production versions. But that'll be a couple of weeks down the road. So you can stay tuned for that, or you can check it out right now or very soon. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.